Legendary singer, songwriter and performer Carole King is arguably the most successful female songwriter and performer of her time. Carole King, the Songbook and the Life of Carole King is a tribute show. It's coming to the Drum Theatre very soon. It's here on Saturday. To tell us more about that, one of the performers is online. Jessica Papst is joining me, and she'll tell me about her part in this and her love of this wonderful lady, Carole King, because she was one of those who I'm sure most of us at times have fallen totally in love with her music. Nice to have you with us today. How are you, Jessica?
Hi, very good.
Lovely.
Very good. Just stepping out from vocal rehearsals, actually.
Oh, are you? Oh, so we caught you right in the middle of them.
Yeah. All very exciting. We've got so much to do because there's just so many songs in this show. There's like 32, 34
yeah,
songs.
I noticed that. Yeah,
brilliant stuff.
32 songs that you put into there and crammed those into, what, about 140 minutes, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. 2 hours with an interval.
Yeah.
And three big vocalists. So it's a whole lot of fun.
Now,
We're having a really good time.
You're one of those vocalists. Two of the other two.
It's Erin Herman Young and Michelle Brazier. Both have done a lot of stuff around Victoria and interstate and internationally with a lot of different projects. So it's a real pleasure to be working with such amazing girls.
Now, I think Michelle was a Green Room Award winner too at one stage, wasn't she?
Yeah, and she's just closed a show in Melbourne Comedy Festival as well. So she's been a busy little bee.
Yes. It's a busy time, the Comedy Festival, isn't it? But now you're back with your feet on the ground and coming around to do Carole King. How did you girls become involved in this?
Well, each of us on different projects has worked with the music director before, Shannon Whitelock. He's a Melbourne staple in the cabaret and music theatre scene, very talented musical arranger and composer. And, I think our producers and directors kind of brought a set of girls together that have, I guess, a real different range of things to offer, but we've blended very well, which is always really important. So each of us kind of, I guess, first became involved with the project through Shannon. So it's really fun to be working with not only really talented people, but people who you call friends. That's
nice, isn't it?
It's always a lot more fun.
If you've got that relationship and you're working together, it's better than being at odds with each other and then coming on stage and trying to act something that's not really there in chemistry, isn't it?
Yeah, well, so many of these songs, I guess, a few of them are famous from girl groups and things in the 60s as well. So
yes.
We've kind of formed our own little girl group, I guess, and it's going really well.
You make a good point there. You've just mentioned girl groups of the 60s, and we did have a lot of girl groups in the 60s, and for some reason in the 70s they seem to fade away. In the 80s and 90s we don't have those girl groups as such now, do we? We've got a lot of female vocalists, but the girl groups...
Not that real tight harmony stuff that work. And that's probably one of the major challenges of this whole concert series. For us is this gorgeous tight, and that's what Shannon's been working on as the arranger. Is that you'll hear all of your favourites, but in a way that maybe they weren't originally 3-part tight girl group harmonies, but they are now, or vice versa. So it's really interesting for audiences as well. So there's enough familiarity and sing-along ability with some really beautiful, creative
Jessica, I'm not wanting to know your age at this stage, but you seem a very young voice. When did you first hear Carole King?
I remember listening to, was it Martika, the version of I Feel the Earth Move from
yes.
the late 80s, early 90s?
Yes.
I remember being obsessed with that in primary school and loving that song. Didn't know who Carole King was at that time because I was so young, but then kind of came across all these songs that I would go, oh, I love that song, and then would casually find out that Carole was behind the writing in some form. And then I bought the Tapestry album, I think when I was about 18, and because I'd heard about this classic album, and I listened to it and I was like, this is one of the most listenable, beautiful pieces of writing ever. And then Shannon and I we used to live together in Queensland. We used to board together, and it was our rainy day album. So it's been a pretty special piece for our whole life. And Shannon, that was like his mum's favourite album when he was growing up, so he's had it in his life, forever. So it's really, for people that were not necessarily born when she released the album, it's been a part of our growing up as well. We are attached to music as well as audiences who grew up, I guess, listening to her as a part of their use as well when it was being written.
And Jessica, you've been a very, very busy person yourself. Looking at your bio, you haven't been able to work very often at all. I've gone through your bio, there's sheets of this online, and I just see so many shows you've been in, including Hairspray at one stage. That must have been a hoot.
Oh, I love that show. That's just such a gorgeous piece.
It is, isn't it? It's real pantomime, isn't it? It's pantomime.
Well, it's got a very, it's a very fun family. It's a larger-than-life show, so it has, there are parallels, I suppose, to pantomime being a larger-than-life style.
Yeah.
But I've moved down from Queensland to do this tour, and I'm staying permanently because I seem to really like Melbourne.
Oh, good on you. Welcome. Welcome. We're all part of Australia, but we love it here in Melbourne, and we call ourselves the arts capital, and I think we really are that.
There's just so much to do. There's so much to see.
Yeah. Now, when you were in Hairspray, you were aside with Simon Gallagher, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. So he played Tracy Turnblad's mother, so that's the John Travolta role from the film.
Yeah.
And I played Penny's mother and a range of other roles, but Penny's mum was probably my main one, so that was fun working with him.
Well, Simon in drag, I can just imagine that. It'd be quite funny.
Yes. Yeah.
Quite funny.
Yes, he carries a washing basket well.
Well, so did John Travolta, didn't he? I mean, to say we all got a shock when we saw that. But look, Hairspray is one of my favourites too. And as I said, you've got a list in your bio that just goes forever. And I'm just trying to pick out ones that I should mention here. But there are just so many to go through. What's been one of your favourite parts beside Hairspray?
Probably my favourites are Velma Kelly in Chicago and Liza Minnelli in The Boy from Oz. And I played opposite Dale Pengelly, and Dale had been in the original Australian cast as well. So that was a pretty special experience. Yeah,
two great shows. Promises too. You had a part in that, didn't you?
I do like that show, but no, I haven't had the opportunity to do that one yet.
You went in that one?
That's certainly on the list.
Yep, good. So if you had an offer for that tomorrow, you'd say yes.
I would say after Carole King, yes.
What is coming up after Carole King?
Probably a break for a few weeks, but we always say that, and then we end up doing 3 things at once. But I don't know, because I've just moved here, so I'm sort of throwing my hat in the ring for some local auditions and see what comes of it. But I've been doing cabaret for a few years, so I've got a couple of ideas that I haven't had the time to really develop because we've been a bit busy. So maybe that's what will happen for me after that. But yeah, who knows? Well,
you can use the Hairspray songs in there, all sorts of things in a cabaret act, can't you? That'd be lovely. Do you play an instrument as well? Do you play piano?
With one finger. No, I rely on and employ very talented other people, so I do not have to venture into those skills of mine.
When did you start singing? What age were you starting singing?
I used to sing along to the radio and make harmonies that I didn't probably realise were harmonies since I can remember. And my first album, ironically, we were working on the arrangements of the Locomotion this morning, and my first album that I ever got was Kylie's The Kylie Collection for my 5th birthday.
Yeah.
And I remember watching Young Talent Time and had the Young Talent Time tape recorder with the microphone so you could sing over the top, and that's kind of my first memories of singing at all. And then I guess I really got into it after high school, probably, in my final year of high school.
Did you study singing as such?
I studied acting.
Did you?
So I employ all of the skills, but my degree was in acting, and I feel like that was the best option for me. I've had vocal teachers privately, but as a full-time degree course, I think that was the best choice for me.
Jessica,
it makes me a really grounded performer, I think.
Yeah, look, I think you find that most actors today are singers also, because you've got to have that balance, don't you? You've got to be able to do both. You've got to be able to use a healthy voice. Yes. It's, touring can be a big thing, and it's good to know how to do it safely and sustainably. Now, that's something you just mentioned there about touring. How do you stay healthy? I often wonder about singers. You must have to stay away from people who've got the flus and colds and ills and chills. And how do you do that? Trying to build a good immune system is part of my project for this whole year, because I think it's something that if you take your eyes off it for a while, that's when you kind of can catch something or get sick. But I think just being sensible when you need getting a lot of sleep and drinking a lot of water and trying not to party too hard and whatnot. But my personal trainer has recommended I take, what did he say? Take a kettlebell and a cooking rope and
RX tape on tour, and then I can probably be doing my own little circuit training, but
Sounds good.
I probably will sleep in.
Good on you, Jessica.
I don't know how seriously I'll take that.
You're down our neck of the woods on April the 30th. That's Saturday week at 7:30 at the Drum Theatre. It looks like being a fantastic show. I think the bookings are going so well for you guys. And Carole King was just a wonderful artist, a great singer, songwriter. So we look forward to that very, very much. And I thank you for your busy time today. And we'll see you on the night.
No worries. Can't wait.
Thanks, Jessica. Take care.
You.
Bye-bye now. There she is, and I hope you go along and support her too. That's Jessica Papst, who's performing in Carole King, the Songbook of Her Life at the Drum Theatre, Dandenong.